ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै सदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपीकांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। विदग्ध सिंधु अनुराग रसिक सिंधु वात्सल्य सिंधु रतिचंद्र कृपैक सिंधु लवण्य सिंधुरमृत छवि रूप सिंधु श्रीराधिका स्फुरतु मां हृदि केलि सिंधु श्रीराधिका स्फुरतु मां रति केलि सिंधु। राधा करार्वचित पल्लव वल्लरिके राधा पदांक विलास मधुर स्थलिके राधा यशो मुकर मत खगावल्लिके राधा विहार विपने रमता मनो में राधा विहार विपिने रमतां मनो में। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। बोलो हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। By the mercy of Srila Gurudev and Vaishnavas, we got this opportunity with the very, very special blessings of Krishna to glorify Radharani. This glorification of Radharani can't be even done by great personalities like Brahma, Shiva, Sanakadi Kumaras, but with a very special potency of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu infused in Sri Rup Goswami Pad, where at Prayag, the confluence of three rivers in India, वृंदावन रास केली वार्तम कालीन लुप्त निज शक्ति उक्तः संचारे रूपनो व्यात्मत पुनसा प्रभु एव प्रयाग एव लोक सृष्टि। Shri Mahaprabhu infused his potency in Shri Rupa Goswami Pad at Prayag, and because of this potency of Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami Pad, it's not that he can't write the glories of Radharani or is not capable of writing this. It's not like that. What is this energy or potency infused in Rupa Goswami? Is it energy that even when he's describing or writing the details of Radharani, he don't get faint. Whereas Shukdev Goswami Pad, in Bhagavatam, he's not openly or directly writing the name of Radharani, or uttering the name of Radharani. Why? Because if he utters the name of Radharani, he get murcha. He get faint for 6 months. He can get faint for 6 months, unconscious. Then how he can able to recite Srimad Bhagavatam for 7 days for the benefit of not only Parikshit Maharaj but for many sages there. So imagine Shukdev Goswami can't even utter Radha, but Rupa Goswami is not only writing about the beauty of Radha, but each and every ornament of Radha, each and every mood of Radharani. That's the potency which Mahaprabhu infused in Rupa Goswami and helped him in writing all this. Otherwise, Srila Gurudev used to say, who's chanting more? Namacharya Haridas Thakur or Rupa Goswami? Namacharya Haridas Thakur chanting 300,000 names every day. 300,000 names every day. Means 64 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra multiplied by 3. These many rounds in one day. And how much Rupa Goswami is chanting? Srila Gurudev used to ask this. Not even one round. Srila Haridas Thakur chanting 64 into 3. How much? 192. 192 rounds. Can we chant? Try one day. Ekadashi day. Yes. Or take this vow that in Purushottam month for 30 days we're going to chant 192 rounds every day for 1 month. And then you get entrance into Golok Vrindavan. Eating once a day and chanting 192 rounds every day. At the end of Purushottam month, you'll not be able to hear Hari Katha in Kartik, because then you will be residents of Golok Vrindavan. So you will be there. You hear from there. And bless all of us. So he's chanting, and Rupa Goswami Pad, not even chanting one round, not even one. What is the meaning? Srila Gurudev used to say, when Rupa Goswami, when he's chanting Hare Krishna, when he starts his beats, and what to speak of even one round, just chanting Hare Krishna, and he gets Samadhi. Samadhi? Samadhi. Absorbed in the pastimes of Radha Krishna, in just chanting Hare and Krishna, that's all. And he is unconscious whole day and whole night, just by chanting one Hare Krishna. Understand? So we should not compare. Haridas Thakur has his own glories, and Rupa Goswami Pad has his own glories. Shri Rupa Goswami Pad writing this Ujjwal Neelmani, this whole book, Ujjwal Neelmani, is full of Radha Tattva. Full of Radha Tattva. So just like we were hearing this qualities of Radharani, because yesterday we were hearing Chaitanya Chaitamrita, where Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, in his commentary called Anubhashya, explaining Sarva Guna Khani, Krishna Kanta Shiromani. In this verse, Sarva Guna Khani, full of all qualities. What are these qualities? We were hearing this. So we heard yesterday, Charu Sabhagya Rekhadya, Gandhod Madhit Madhava, Sangeet Parasara Vigya, Ram, only this much. Sangeet Parasara Vigya. Let us hear further. Ramme Vak. What is the meaning Ramme Vak? So this is going to help those girls and boys who learn these qualities of Radharani. They only learn this, but what are the details of that is going to help you. And sometime I'm going to ask when there will be test. After some days, there's going to be a test. Like you have school test on Zoom. The same way, I will ask my devotee to make a question paper, and she will send me, and then I'm going to ask everyone to be careful hearing this. What is the meaning Ramme Vak? Suvadane Vadane Tavradike Shurtyam Kiyamaksh Admadori Vikalpam Labete Kil Kokila Sakhi Yaya Sudhapi Mudhartatam. What is the meaning? Sri Rupa Goswami is saying, once upon a time, Shri Krishna, he addressed to Srimati Radhika, He Suvadane, He Suvadane. Hey is a kind of address, not English hey. Hey, how are you doing? It's not that hey here. This hey is different. Hey Suvadne, kind of addressing with love and affection. Suvadne means, oh beautiful one. Vadan means beautiful body. And when adjective su is added to the word, it gives more means more glorious. I don't know how to explain this. So Suvadane. Vadane means beautiful, now body. And when Su is added, it's very beautiful one. Yes, emphasis. Suvadane. O Radhike, O Suvadane. I'm hearing you singing. Oh, sorry. I'm hearing you speaking. And in just by hearing your beautiful speech, which is emanating from your lotus mouth, Mukhar Vinda. Radharani face is compared to a lotus. Krishna never dare he addressed or he compared the beautiful face of Radharani to Chandra, moon. Yes, Chandramukhi. Because it happened once upon a time in Barsana. There is Chandra Sarovar in the Barsana Parikrama. We will go sometime when we go to India. I will take you to Barsana Parikrama. Very short, but very beautiful scenes around. So there is a kund called Chandra Sarovar, where once upon a time, Radharani, she asked Krishna, okay, can you describe my beautiful face? And Krishna said, yes, of course. Your beautiful face is like, and just prior to that, Krishna came from the Kunja of Chandravali. And he has Chandravali in his head. So he's thinking how to compare because Radharani immediately asked this question. You know, it happens sometimes right at the spot. Someone asks you and you have to give proper answer, appropriate answer. So Krishna is always trying to impress Radharani. Radharani never tried to impress Krishna. Never. It's Krishna always who comes and impress Radharani. Yeah. Who tried to impress? One who wants to show off. Radharani is already so much beautiful and full of all qualities. It's Krishna who has to come and to impress Radharani. So Radharani asked the question right on the spot when Krishna just came from the camp of Chandravali. And Radharani said, can you describe my face? Krishna said, your face is just like compared to as Chandra. Then he thought, what I'm going to say? If I say Chandravali, goodness, what's going to happen then? Then he said, Chandra, your face is, I'm a Chandra, means moon. Not Chandravali, Chandra. And by hearing this, Radharani became so upset. And she manifested man, sulky mood. Krishna said, what happened? What wrong I did? I just compared your face with Chandra. She said, Chandra has so many spots. And where you see spots on my face? Where is those spots? And Chandra also diminish every day. Yes? Do you see my beauty diminish every day? So I don't want to speak to you. And Radharani manifested such severe man, Durjay man. The different categories of man, different intensity of man, I mean to say. And that's also described by Rup Goswami in this book. We're going to hear this sometime. Different intensity of man. So Durjay man, which is very, very strong, and Krishna is trying all best to pacify Radharani, but he's not able. He has to do so much to pacify Radharani for this Durjay man. How dare you compare my face with moon? Krishna said, oh Radhe, you don't understand. I didn't mean the spot or diminishing part of the moon. I just wanted to say the effulgent like moon, soothing like moon. You took me wrong. Sometimes we wanted to say something else and other person take it a wrong way. If we say, okay, you are like moon. So our intention is to describe that you are soothing and effulgent like moon. But other person take it, oh, spots. And this is what's happening with Radharani. And therefore, Krishna is very careful not addressing Radharani or comparing her face with moon. So, Mukharvin, like lotus. Lotus is so beautiful, soft, pinkish, so much soothing just to see lotus. So, the words which is emanating from your lotus mouth, oh Suvabni, oh beautiful Radhe, is just like the alphabet, the words which is coming from your beautiful lotus face, mouth, is just like nectar. It's just nectar. And by hearing this word which is emanating from your lotus mouth, even the beautiful singing cuckoo bird became silent. Even the cuckoo bird became silent because cuckoo bird sings so sweet. Yes, you have in your country cuckoo bird? No. No? Oh. In Navdeep Dham, so many. You hear early in the morning, 5 o'clock after Mangal Aarti. And also Vrindavan, and also Faridabad. We heard this. So beautiful. Black color, like crow. Totally dark black, but sings so beautiful. Coo, 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 coo. I can't imitate, but cuckoo bird sings so good. But even the small little words which is coming from the lotus face of lotus mouth of Shri Radharani. By hearing that, even cuckoo bird, they become mourn, they become astonished, they became silent and only wants to drink this nectar which is coming from the lotus mouth of Radharani. Therefore, these words, even diminishing the pride of nectar, nectar, diminishing the pride of nectar. So, Ramme Vak. Vak means words. Ramme means very beautiful words. Ramme Vak, Narma Pandita. What is the meaning of Pandit? Very learned. So, Narma Pandita. This is another quality of Radharani. And this quality of Radharani is like a sarcastic on Krishna. Vamshyastam upadhya kim upadhyay tvatra vamshigva kul yuvati dharma harina dasati yorna param karma. Radharani spoke to Krishna. Hey Nath, Hey Nath. What is the meaning, Hey Nath? Nath means, oh my Lord. Can Radharani, no. Hey Nath, oh my Lord. Do ever Radharani address to Krishna as my Lord? Whenever she addressed this, that means some trouble for Krishna. Whenever Krishna enters in the Kunja of Radharani, yeah, Abhisarika, this is one mood of Radharani. We're going to hear this later. Abhisarika means she dressed herself so nicely with all ornaments. Why? To please Krishna. And she's waiting for Krishna. So if Krishna comes late, not punctual, right? And if Radharani is seeing Krishna entering the Kunja, if Radharani stands in honor to Krishna, Krishna starts shaking, trembling, because this is unusual. Radharani is honoring Krishna by standing up. You know, if someone comes to you and you stand up in honor, that's etiquette. Especially those for elderly persons or for Gurudev, for Vaishnavas, if you stand up in honor, this etiquette one should. It's mandatory. And this shows honor. So if Radharani is giving honor to Krishna by standing up in honor to Krishna, Krishna starts shaking, something wrong. That means her mood is not good. And if Krishna enters the Kunja and Radharani keep on sitting and extend her feet for Krishna to massage, that's normal. That's normal. Krishna is happy. Okay, she's normal. She's always worried. I don't know what is her mood. When she's normal, when she's not normal, when she's in man, or when she's happy, because Krishna is expanding many pastimes and going in so many kunjas. To those who are even unfavorable to Radharani, means counterpart of Radharani. Chandravali, Shabya, Shama, no. Chandravali, Shabya, all this. They are friends of Chandravali. And they invite Krishna and Krishna has to go there. What is the fault of Krishna? Tell me. If you invite someone, it's not polite if you don't go, right? If you invite someone, you have to go there because everyone loves you. So if all the gopis, that Vipaksha, Swapaksha, favorable and unfavorable, favorable ones, Lalita, Vishakha, all these Ashtakis, favorable to Radharani, means submissive to Radharani. But there is one other section called Vipaksha, Chandravali, Shabya and all, Bhadra. They all love Krishna equally, but they are unfavorable ones. And when they invite Krishna, Krishna has to go there. What is the fault of Krishna? Bechara Krishna. Phas gaya. And he has to go there. But when he has to go there, they all attend him so nicely, so much reciprocation of love and affection. And sometimes he get delay. So if he's delay and Radharani, if he delayed and Radharani is waiting for him, and to give a hint to Krishna what she is going through, she stand up in honor. And Krishna immediately understands, something is going to happen now. Something is going to happen now. Standing up in honor. So once upon a time, there was some disagreement. Husband-wife. But it got solved. Next day, husband came from his office, from his work. Very first thing, he entered in the house and he saw the face of his wife. And he's like, it's okay, everything is fine. Just by looking her face, oh yes. When she smiled, oh, everything is fine. So just by looking the face, you can understand, okay, something is wrong or everything is fine. When Krishna see the face of Radharani, he understands something is wrong. And if she stand up in the honor, that means, oh, now something is definitely going to happen to him. Yeah. But if if Krishna enters the kunja and if Radharani, she extend her feet and allowing Krishna to massage, then Krishna is happy. Okay, everything is normal, settled. Even though he came from other kunjas, from other gopis, but oh, Radharani don't know this. Nobody informed her, so everything is fair and fine. This is how the sweet pastimes is happening between Radha and Krishna. Now, Radharani, when she addressed Krishna as, oh Lord, when she can address this to Krishna, either in separation, as 10th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, Radharani spoke this shloka. He Nath Raman Preshta Kwasi Kwasi Mahabhuja. He Nath Raman Preshta. He addressed there as, Hey Nath, oh my Lord Krishna, where are you? Where are you? Please extend your darshan to me. I'm feeling separation from you. So she can say this in submissive mood, which is never, sometimes, very rare submissive mood. Most of the time, Krishna is in submissive mood. But in separation from Krishna, to meet Krishna, she sometimes addressed Krishna as Hey Nath. Hey Nath means, oh my Lord. And other times, when she's sarcastic on Krishna, means she's angry or wants to chastise Krishna. So in these two, otherwise, in prem, in her expressing of love, she always addressed Krishna as, Hey Priyatam, oh my beloved. Oh my leaflet, right? Oh leaf, oh leaflet. So, oh love, oh beloved, like this. They address each other. Krishna addressed Radharani as, oh Priya, and Radharani addressed Krishna as, oh Priyatam. That's normal. Loving, addressing each other as in love. But when Radharani addressed Krishna as, oh my Lord, that means something is wrong. Then even Lord Krishna, he is in trouble. So Radharani addressed Narma Pandita. This is the quality of Radharani. Narma Pandita means she is very learned. No, not learned. Pandita means very expert, right? Very expert in speaking to Krishna according to different circumstances. Very expert. Which word to use, how to use, she is very expert in that. That's why Rupa Goswami Pad said, Narma Pandita. Because this is also an art. Which words to use and when to use and for whom to use. Like in English, we just say one word, you. Right? There's no other word to express. And in other languages also, I think there's only one word to use. But in India, in our Hindi language, there are different words to address to different age group of person. If someone younger than you, then if someone is younger, then we address that person as tum. And if someone elderly person, or we want to address someone with respect, then aap. And then someone who is very young or someone is very intimate, then tu. tu. So tu, tum, and aap. Three. But in English, I only heard you. That's all. For the same, for everyone. Even for the kid, even for the father, even for the grandfather, even for great-grandfather. Everything is you. So it makes so much difference. If anyone addressing Krishna as aap, it makes so much difference if anyone addressing Krishna as tu, addressing Krishna as tum, sorry, tum and aap. If Radharani addressed Krishna as aap, then Krishna is in problem. Why she addressed me as aap with respect? And if Krishna is addressing, sorry, if Radharani is addressing Krishna as tum, that's normal. You see, so many details are there. Even how to address. So this is an art. Which words to use and when to use for two reasons. One thing very important, try to understand this and keep this always in your heart and your head. If Radharani is abusing Krishna or using harsh words to Krishna, or she never lost that respect and love in her heart, that's 100 times increasing every moment, every moment, and every moment. That abusive words is also have so much respect and love. And that's why Krishna liked this word. Because once upon a time, Krishna tried to apply this to test who is Narma Pandita, who's very expert in speaking or addressing or reacting. He applied this in Dwarika. Where? To Rukmani. Because Rukmani loves Krishna so much. Krishna loves Rukmani also. So once upon a time, Krishna was sitting and Rukmani, she was fanning Krishna. And that was a system, I can say, 2 decades back, 30, 40 years back. Husband used to come from work and housewife, so much dedicated to husband, seeing husband so tired and making whatever husband likes, those favorites, what he likes, because he's working whole day for the family and he's so tired, always making whatever he likes to please him. That's the duty. So those Matajis, they used to cook the best what the husband like, and while husband is eating, they fan them. And what to speak of 5,000 years back? Nowadays we have AC and fans. Okay, you're tired? Soon remote. Here she's there. That's different. This is a different era now. So Rukmani was fanning Krishna with so much love, so much love. Yeah. And Krishna, he's Vidagdha. Vidagdha means he's very clever, and he always liked playing. He wanted to know how Rukmani is going to react if I just twist my some words and speak not normal. I want to see because he already experienced what happened in Vrindavan with Radharani and of course with Lalita Sakhi. Oh, Krishna is fully aware of this. But he wanted to know and wanted to compare actually how Rukmani and Satyabhama, how they're going to react in comparison with how Radharani and Lalita react. So Krishna, while Rukmani fanning Krishna said, Rukmani, uh, actually you did a mistake by marrying me. And Rukmani, by hearing this word, this is how Krishna started with. And Rukmani started, what he's saying? Actually, Rukmani, you did mistake by marrying me. There were so many handsome, powerful prince present that moment when you married me. More handsome, more powerful than me. and I'm not that beautiful. I have no qualities. Yeah. And you see, overnight I migrated from Mathura to Dwarika in fear overnight. And I made this Dwarka right in the middle of the ocean, right in the middle of ocean. So you did a blunder mistake. Oh, Rukmani heard this and she just fainted. She can't even hear those words. She can't even hear those words. She fainted. Fan fell, and Rukmani, when she fainted, Krishna extended his Chaturbhuj form, his four-hand form. Because in Dwarka, Krishna has four hands. His Chaturbhuj is there. Sometimes he manifests, sometimes he don't manifest. But when the time comes, he manifests. When it is needed, he manifests his forearm. And today, he manifested his forearm and he holded Rukmani because she was about to fall on the ground. Yeah. He holded Rukmani and sprinkled water on her and fan her. Rukmani came back to consciousness. So why Krishna did this? Intentionally, he wanted to see if I joke with Rukmani. Just joking words. He was not serious about this. How Rukmani is going to take my joking words? And she can't even hear that. She fell unconscious. Then Krishna, he holded Rukmani saying, "Oh Priye, oh beloved, what happened? Why you fainted?" Rukmani said, "What you said is not appropriate at all." With tears in her eyes, with so submissive mood, Dakshin Bhav, Radha Rani's Vamya Bhav. Rukmani's Dakshin Bhav, very submissive mood, like a submissive wife. Hmm? What have you, what you saying, my husband? Oh Krishna, it's not appropriate. Hmm? You said you have no qualities. Actually, you said correct. No quality means nirgun. Krishna said, I'm nirgun. Nirgun means two meaning of nirgun. One meaning is I have no qualities. Another meaning is what Rukmani said is you are beyond of all other qualities. You're beyond of you're beyond mode of ignorance, mode of passion, and mode of goodness. You're beyond these three gunas, which is troubling everyone in this material world. Rukmani Devi, she's glorifying Krishna with these words. What Krishna spoke, she's speaking back in the glorification of Krishna. Yes, what you said is correct. You are nirguna. You're beyond mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. You are situated in nirguna. And you're endowed with all qualities. I am Neta Suramyamra Sarvakshanvitam Ruchis Tejasa Yukta Valyan Vyavasanvita Vivid Adbhuta Vashavi Satyavakyam Priyavada Vagdu Supandita Buddhiman Pratipanvita Vidagda Chatur Daksha Kirtagya Sudavata Desh Kal Supatraga Shastra Chakshu Suruchurvasi, etc. etc. You are endowed with all these qualities. And then Krishna said, there were so many handsome and beautiful princes. She said, yes, I know that. And I got proposals from all of them. But you are not prince. Yeah, you are not prince. You are, you are what? You're cause of all causes. Many personalities, they come and bow down at your lotus feet. So you're not amongst those princes. You are beyond that category. You are the, in this way, Rukmani, with Aishwarya Bhav, with opulence mood, glorifying Krishna. And rightly you said that you ran away from Mathura and you run away from Mathura and you came to Dwarika and you established a palace in the middle of the ocean. This is correct because those who don't worship you, those who are against you, you always run away from them. Yogis and others, they're trying to catch you, but you establish yourself beyond this material world, beyond this material ocean of miseries. You establish yourself in spiritual world. Golok eva nivasatim akhil atma bhuto govindam adi purusham tamam bhajami. So Krishna said, okay, he smiled, ha ha ha, but he didn't like this idea. Joking with wife, she has to speak back something good or in a sarcastic that creates some kind of fun. But she's so submissive. I just was joking with her. She can't even tolerate that joke, and she fainted. Hmm, I'm not so happy with this. But Rukmani, uh, he pleased. He pacified Rukmani. Oh, very good. Okay, thank you. That's all. Now with Satyabhama, Krishna said, okay, let me try it with Satyabhama. And he entered in the palace in the room of Satyabhama and said, oh, Satyabhama, actually you did mistake by marrying me. There were so many beautiful, handsome princes. You did mistake in marrying me. Satyabhama said, yes, what you said is correct. I'm not suitable for you. For you, that hunchbacked woman of Mathura, she is the best suitable match for you. You would have married with her. Straight away, right on his face. Krishna just smiled. I was joking with you. She said, yes, I was also joking with you. Krishna didn't like this idea. He is not impressed by hearing both of them because Rukmani is too submissive. Too submissive. She don't know how to even reciprocate, jokingly. And Satyabhama, she's so straightforward, right on the face. And Krishna is trying to compare this with the words of Radharani. Even though Priya yadi मान करे करे भर्सन वेद स्तुति हईते हरे मोर मन Chaitanya Chaitamrit, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying this. Krishna is thinking, Priya yadi मान करे करे भर्सन. My Priya, my Radharani, even if she Priya yadi मान करे means manifest her sulky mood or she abused me, that abusing words of Radharani is so pleasing to my ears, more pleasing than hearing the hymns of Vedas, the prayers of the Vedas. I'm bored of hearing this. Every time all these pandits are chanting this. But they're chanting Purushukta mantra. Every time they're busy chanting this, I'm bored. But what I'm happy with, only hearing these abusive words of Radharani. When all the demigods, when they approach Vishnu for help because of Kamsa, right? They chant this Purushukta mantra. Om Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha Sahasra Aksha Sahasrapat Sabhumi Vishwato Vrityate Atishtit Darshungalam Om Purushaha Ivedam Sarvam Yadbhutam Yachya Bhavayam Utam Rittatva Seyashano Yad Anno Nati Rohati Om Etavanasya Mahimato Jayanscha Purushaha Padavasya Vishwabhutani Tripad Asya Amrita Devi Om Tripad Urdhava Udvata Purusho Pado. There's so many mantras, Purushokta mantras. Very important. Those very important. We can't minimize this because this is Purushokta mantra. When anyone worships Shalagram or on the day of performing Abhishek to Krishna on Janmashtami, Gaur Purnima, it's very important to recite this for us. But Radharani, Brajvasis, they are on different levels. So Priya Jadi Man Kore Kore Bharsan. When she abused me, it's more pleasing to my ears than hearing this Purushokta mantra. That's the Krishna's. This is Krishna's idea. So Krishna is trying to compare joking with Radharani and joking with Rukmani Satyabhama. With Rukmani, so submissive. I don't like that much submissive mode. And with Satyabhama, straightforward on the face, no respect. But with Radharani and Lalita, even though they abuse me, but in that abusing words, there is love and there is respect. Therefore, Radharani is Narma Pandita. Narma Pandita, very expert in using the words and appropriate time. Just like Brahmar Geet, Srimad Bhagavatam Brahmar Geet. When Radharani is saying all these black persons are cheaters, just take one shloka of this Brahmar Geet. There's a verse criticizing Krishna or abusing Krishna, I mean to say. Mrigayur eva kapendra vibdulubd dharma istrim akrit virupam istrijit kamana balim api bali vatsa vishya duristad vyad tad alam asis sakhi dustajyam tat kathartam. Oh, don't never believe this black person. Always liar, cheater. There was one black in Treta Yuga who cut the nose and ear of sister of Ravan, Surupnaka. What was her fault? She got attracted to see your beauty. You are beautiful. It is your fault. Ra, you're so beautiful. If she got attracted to you, what's her fault? And she just proposed you. That's all. Why you made her ugly? So these blacks are not good. And then no one kill monkey. Even hunters don't kill monkey. And what kind of black is this? He cheated, hiding behind a tree, and he killed Bali, the brother of Sugriv, who was monkey. Very powerful Bali. Very powerful Bali. So don't believe him. And then another this black, Vaman. Tomorrow is Vaman Dwadashi. Appearance of Vaman Bhagwan. Okay. And that's why, because today is Ekadashi, we are observing this appearance of Vaman Bhagwan fasting today. Because we can't fast for 2 days. That's not the system. So for Vaman Dwadashi, we are fasting today. So this Vaman came as a small draft, small boy, Brahman. And he cheated Bali Maharaj. I want to measure 3 steps of land. So even though these words appears not appropriate, but what's the last line? Tad alam asis sakhi dustajyam tat kathartam. Uddhavji said, since I came here, you're saying again and again words against this black person. But since I came here, you're only speaking about black person. Why don't you just forget about this black person? Don't remember him. Don't speak about him. Radharani said, that's the problem. Tad alam asis sakhi dustajya tat kathartam. This is our problem. We want to forget him. We can't. And dustajyam tat kathartam. We cannot give up his topics. We cannot give up speaking about him. We always want to speak about him. His name, his form, his qualities, his past. We can't give up that. So you see, this is just one example, but there are many. So this is called an art of addressing someone at appropriate time. Radharani is Narma Pandita. She knows this art. when to speak and what word to address Krishna with. Sometimes she addressed Krishna as, "Oh Madhav." Sometimes she addressed Krishna as, "Oh Govinda." Sometimes she addressed Krishna as Pran Priyatam, Lord of my life. So it's not just like that she speaks. Every uh, word she addressed for Krishna uh, is full of nectar and have some very deep meaning behind this. And who's extracting those meanings and telling us and giving us information? Jeev Goswami, Gopal Champu, Rup Goswami, Ujjwal Nilmani. They are telling what is like if we read Gopal Champu, which is very difficult, because if I start, what is very wonderful to read Gopal Champu. All Krishna Leela, all Krishna Leela. Huh? Shiji Goswami Pad elaborated that Krishna Leela. Even what is going on in the heart of Nand Maharaj while addressing Krishna. What is Yashoda Maya moods? Why she spoke these words? All these details Shiji Goswami Pad writing. But that's too difficult. If I start translating that, all of you will laugh on me. Because my English is, not to that standard. Yeah. But I used to do this years back, 10, 12 years back. I still remember when I was in Vrindavan, staying in the Ruksnatan Gaudiya Math. Every morning, I used to speak Gopal Champu. And all devotees, English-speaking devotees from Sri Gopinath Bhavan, they all used to come. The Gopinath Bhavan is empty. No one used to stay back. They all were so excited to hear this Gopal Champu. So, just 1 hour class in the morning, and we only able to hear one line. That's all. Hindi and then English, then Hindi, then English, because so many details in just one line. Why Krishna? He swings his stick. Even on that point, Krishna is Jiva Goswami is telling why Krishna did this and why this movement clockwise and why not anti-clockwise. Even that. Those so many details. Some other time, okay? So Narma Pandita, art of addressing. So when Radharani said, "Hey Nath, oh beloved, oh my Lord," now, that means something is there. I want to know, are you the teacher of your Vamshi or Vamshi is your teacher? Radharani said, "Oh Lord," and Krishna understood something is wrong. And the question she raised to Krishna is also something very difficult to answer for Krishna. Whose teacher of, are you a teacher of your Vamshi or your flute? Or flute, Vamshi is your teacher? Because, she said further, because we are Kul Yuvatis. Kul Yuvati means we are chaste women. And both of you are there to spoil our chastity. Both of you. You and your Vamshi, your flute, both together. Both work. Now many details are here. Both of you work to disturb us. Or both of you are there to spoil our chastity. We are Kul Yuvatis, chaste women, just doing our household activities. And serving our husbands, serving our mother-in-law, and doing household activities. But you, Krishna, you giving so much trouble because you intend to call us and you want us to give up all household activities. And who's assisting you? Your flute. Because the moment you play flute, we can't control ourselves. Not seeing Krishna, just by hearing the flute of Krishna. So both of you have some, understanding between each other. So I don't understand. Is flute inspiring you to trouble us? Or you inspiring the flute to trouble us? But in conclusion, you both are same. You both are same. That made Krishna so restless. She raised this question. Tell me, who's teacher? Are you teacher of flute or the flute is your teacher? Both work same. We are so nicely happy doing our household activities, no troubles. Ya done avani lepani, Bhagavatam says, while making cow dung paddies, while milking cows, taking care of children. We are happy there. Yes, we remember you. It's not that we are forgetting you. And we sing for you, remembering you by chanting Govinda Damo Dharmadhaveti Govinda Damo Dharmadhaveti Govinda Damo Dharmadhaveti Govinda Damodara Madhve He Krishna He Yadava He Sakheti Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. We are decorating ourselves. We are cleaning, cooking, serving husband. Every time we are singing this. But you and your flute, both are same. Both are same. So whenever she asks this question, now tell me, what Krishna is supposed to answer? He is no answer. But don't think Krishna is less. He's Vidagdha Shiromani. He's the best amongst all intellectuals. He has answer. It's not written here, but Krishna also, he gives very good answer, which is full of respect and love. No transgression of any respect in both of them. Full of love and respect. So Krishna is thinking, oh, I gave very good answer. And now she has nothing to say further. But Radharani comes up with some other point on the answer of Krishna. She raised another question on the answer of Krishna. And then Krishna answered back to Radharani. And then Radharani again raised one question in this way. But who wins in the last? Tell me, who can win in the last? Krishna? Who wins? Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Radharani wins always. Because Narma Pandita. This is what Rupa Goswami. Follow Shri Radha Rani ki. Shri Radha Rani ki. Jai. Okay. Rest we hear tomorrow. So this song, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, this is in Hindi language and also in Sanskrit. Today you all heard Hindi language. Tomorrow you're going to hear Sanskrit. But nothing to worry. We are working very hard for helping all the devotees. Those Sanskrit verses, which are not 5 or 10 in number, it's like 58 in number, 58 verses, 57, 58. And this is spoken, spoken by Bilmangal Thakur. So we're going to post this tomorrow. We'll also send in the group the verses, so that when you are hearing this, or if you want to sing this, you can have printout, and you can also sing along with someone who's singing this Govinda Damodar Madhaveti. Okay, be ready for that tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Radha Rani ki jai, Shri Guru Goswami ji ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai, Go Mangal Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।